Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main. I'm speaking in code when I tech talk that financial freedom. Have a seat cause you gon' wanna sit up at my table, yeah. Plugged in that it, girl, IT with the cables, yeah. Network engineering is for you, it ain't no labels.
All right, so welcome back to another lesson. We are in the security section and we are on 5.3. We're configuring and verifying local passwords and device access local passwords. And that's part of security to ensure that not anyone can just come into our router and start changing configurations or looking at our configurations. We want to set up a layer of security, which would be password username. So let's go ahead and grab us a router here. You know, we have an ISR and we literally can go into the router, and I'm going to try to blow this up as see if I can. We're going to go into the CLI and it's loading right now. So what I like to do is exit this and push this fast forward button. It like speeds up time. It's a little trick to do that. Speed up time. And then you can go into the router and now it is there. We know a brand new router is going to access. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? We don't want to do that right now. What you should have done that in our previous lessons. If not, please do it so you can see what the prompt is. But we're just going to say no. We're just going to press enter. Now, what we're going to have to do before we configure a password and a username is go into enable. Enable is entering our privilege exec mode. So we know that if the routers have different modes that we can go into, like user exec mode, privilege exec, and I think like global configuration. There's some other configuration modes that you can be into, but we want to ensure that we type in enable so we can get to that privilege mode. So I like to do EN, but I'm going to type it out for you guys. And then as you can see, now it changed from one of the greater than sign to a pound. So now what we have to do is we actually have to go into the configuration mode, configuration terminal is what I like to call it, because we can do Con F space T, right? So you guys should already know how to at least get into privilege mode and config mode because we've been doing a lot of configurations. But let's go ahead and configure these passwords and username. So we enter config mode, we make sure my mouse is here, and we're going to do username space. You can set the username for whatever you want it. Usually it will be something like admin, right? That'll be the username. Then you're gonna space, you're gonna say secret. Secret is the password. So space after secret, and you put in your password. Just for demonstration purposes, we're going to put Cisco with a capital C, 1, 2, 3. All right. And then enter. Now it's been saved onto the console. The next thing you want to do is go into the console and give that password, username and password access, which this is if you have a console cable and you actually directly like physically plug into the router. This is the connection this is the password and username you would use. Well, you really just the username admin, but we can set a different password. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're in configuration mode. We have line, console, 0. Remember, we count from 0 on to 9. Those are our letters, our numbers. And enter. So now we're in the configuration line, right? What do we want to do with this line? We want to put in a login, a local login. Login local, press enter. Now it's going to say this local login, since you directly connected into the router, what password do you want to set? And you would just literally put password, space, and whatever password that is. For demonstration, let's just put Cisco with a lowercase c, 1, 2, 3. So it's slightly different, something easy for us to remember. Okay, so the next thing we would want to access is the VTY. Lines. VTY stands for virtual teletype. These are lines that allow us to remote in whether we're using a software called Putty, a software called SolarWinds. It's just we're not physically accessing the cable, the router. So we put line BTY 04 and then enter. And then we're going to put same thing, login local. And we're going to set a password. So that's password space. And again, it could be anything. Let's put Cisco with a capital C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Something easy we can kind of remember. Just demonstration. And then boom. So you set up your passwords and your username for remote users and directly connected users, physical users. Now we want to, it's good to save. So you want to, if you want, you can end out of the configuration mode, the privilege exec mode. And we're really just configuration mode because we're still in privilege exec mode. Okay, as you can see here at the router. And literally we're just going to do write memory. Okay, it saved it. Then you can also do, a lot of times they do copy running dash config, I believe, config, and then you would say startup dash config. Just telling you the running config, make sure that destination file name, let's just say this, that it is saved. Okay, it's saving the full configurations that we've done. And then let's go ahead and verify that we've set a password, set a username. And you can do that by doing a show command, which would be show, and we want to show the running configuration, the configuration that's currently running on this router, running config. And what you can do, this is a little small, but hopefully you guys can see this just well. I'm just pressing enter. And as you can see, I'm going down. You can see the interfaces. This is all the configurations that are currently on this this router. And we didn't put any interface, didn't open anything up, didn't add any IP addresses. But as you can see, what we did do is we configured this password and this password, as you can see. And that's how you can configure the passwords and then verify them. Like I said, it's good for access. You don't want just anybody to access your routers. So this is a layer of security that you want to ensure you have on your routers. In a working environment, they'll possibly already have this once you get a new router and you put configurations on it. That's kind of the first things you do is put in the username and password. So most of the time you will not be tasked to set up a router and put the username and password, but you never know. And we want to be able to ensure that when we do come on to a contract or a job and they do not have such security practices, that we can implement. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys the Trello desktop application. This is where all of our exam prep notes will be stored. So if you have access to the exam prep notes or you're in the boot camp, this is our Trello workspace that we will come to and collaborate our knowledge and questions, comments, concerns. You will still use the Discord for your primary communication, but this is where all the material is housed. And I just want to give you just a quick little run through. Now, right now, we are doing the CCNA/Net Plus learning. So as I do the lives or I do recorded videos, I will post them here. And as you can see, we're going to start off in this board, which is called the CCNA/Net Plus. You'll start here for all notes. Now, you definitely can click on this, right? And it will give you some information like the Google Drive. That's where everything is housed in our drive if you can't find anything. This is also where I will possibly tag you to say, here, start on this board and work your way through. These right here are the exam topics. You can click on it and see it's an attachment as well as a link. All right, click out of it. You can click into this card which is the Computer Networking 101 ebook. It's just the ebook with the computer networking all comprised in it. Not as deep as the CCNA, but it talks about it in general. So you can get a general aspect of how computer networking works. Basically, how computers talk to each other, right? You get this ebook for free. It is $25 on the website, but since you signed up for the boot camp or for the exam prep notes, you get this ebook for free here. We also have the CCNA Quizlet. So these are our flashcards or play little games with the terms. So it can help you retain this information as you go through these modules. Each module, right, as you can see, has its own list. So we have network fundamentals, network access, IP activity, moving on. Each exam topic is listed in its own video. As you can see, the lesson 1.2, lesson 1.3, 1.6 and 7, and they're all here laid out for you. And then at the end of the section, such as section 1, you will have an exam, a pop quiz, just a test exam, just to test your knowledge, see if you retain some information. If you haven't, it would be best for you to go back and review the things that confused you or you just wasn't able to retain, possibly even going back to the Quizlet. But if you are confused and the videos are not helping you, the resources are not helping you, please utilize Discord and we'll be glad to get you caught up to speed.